Obviously, is that good to have at this time of the year? Or not that you had a choice, but
yeah, it was good. I think it was good for the guys. We've been going hard really since we got here. We didn't really do much. We didn't do much work on like jump stops and pivoting. Our off season was pretty intense, trying to just raise the level of how we compete. So it was a nice break. These guys got 2 days off. The Sunday, Monday, and then we got after it pretty hard, getting ready. For what's going to be a very, very tough physical game tomorrow. Two desperate teams that are not used to being in a position that they're used to, or that they're in right now in terms of records, and the level of desperation we're going to see from them tomorrow is going to be off the charts, and we better be ready to match that.
Your bench is just seeing in the stats the last 5 games. I think they only averaged like between the 5 guys like 11 points. Do you need to get more out of them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we don't. Listen, we don't. Can you ask that again?
Well, your bench isn't giving you much offensive production.
Yeah.
And just about getting more out of them because it puts more burden on the starters, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we could from the bench, obviously we don't have, we don't have amazing depth. We're not, tons of production off the bench is probably something that we're probably not like used to. We've gotten in pockets of time. For us to win tomorrow and for us to keep moving this thing forward, we've got to have an outstanding guard play. And I think that's kind of the message to this week, especially to the perimeter people. Is we were kind of we were able to have a especially last year at Rhode Island, like our guards carried us, and for us to like win tomorrow, and then again to like put ourselves in a position to even start thinking about having a chance to play in the tournaments in March. Like our guard play is going to have to be outstanding the rest of the way, and we're going to have to get what we can from everybody else.
Kind of has been though, right? I mean, the 3 guys, Vitale, Gilbert, and Adams have all been
outstanding.
Good lately.
Yeah, I don't know. We've turned the ball over a lot.
Right.
We haven't always guarded. The scoring numbers have been good, but it's also like at what point in the game are you scoring? So yeah, I mean, I think that what made us great at Rhode Island is our guards played both ends of the court. We were a low turnover team, and then obviously they scored the ball for us. So the message to those guys is, the challenge is could we raise our level of guard play defensively, taking care of the ball, and then also empowering some of these younger kind of forwards, the Joshes, the Tylers, the Sids, to just get more out of them in terms of the way they lead them. So yeah, I think we've gotten like pretty good guard play. I think Jalen's been on a great run. I think Christian is a much different player this year. I think Al's had spots where he's been outstanding. But if we want to like feel really good about the season we had like in March, they got to take it to another level, because that's the strength of the team.
And how do you match up and contain McDuffie?
The hard thing about Marcus is like he hits incredibly tough shots. Like he's a tough shot maker. He's got this unique ability to one dribble right as a righty and to step back, long pull-ups and deep threes. So he shoots and scores shots that are really hard to defend because the degree of difficulty is really difficult. But when he gets the ball, he's got to see a lot of white jerseys, not just the white in the crowd, but he's got to see a lot of early help, like early bodies, and we got to make his catches hard.
Did you play with Taryn at St. Anthony's? We were just talking about that.
They did. I believe that they were teammates at St. Anthony and teammates with Sports U, so AAU. So I think they had the double. They played all year together.
Is Sid playing tomorrow, or are all Bronx kids?
I don't want to comment on the second thing you said because I don't know the facts of that. What goes on in the Bronx? I'm much more familiar with Brooklyn and Queens. But no, Sid's practiced 3 days in a row here, so he's good to go. So we need Sid. Listen, we put ourselves in a position where, our metrics are, literally almost 100 spots better this time of year than they were last year when the season ended. I think our Ken Palm last year when the season ended was somewhere in the high 170s or mid 170s. we're living in the high 80s, but we've been as low as the low 80s. You know, if we get on a run here, and again, if our guards can take it to another level, Josh Carlton keeps developing. You know, obviously get a little bit more out of Tyler. As Tyler sees the ball start going in, as much as we see it going in practice, get Sid back and healthy and active. You know, maybe get a little bit more from the backup bigs off the bench. You know, we could make a run at some things in this league, but you know, this is a critical game tomorrow for us if we're gonna, you know, dream and set goals of kind of being in the mix in March for, you know, either of those two tournaments.
How's your newest walk-on fit in his limited time?
Yeah, it was fun. We were able to get some skill work with him. Yeah, he's gotten two practices in. You know, yesterday he was limited because we did a lot of skill work with him before, but you know, today he got his first look at live action with the team. And, you know, he hit a 3, and then he spooked a couple guys at the front of the rim when they drove it. So those are good things to see. A 4-man that could make a 3, and then a 4-man that could change shots at the rim. So, but it's great to have it's great to have the amount of time we're going to have with him to teach him, you know, what it is to be a college student, the responsibilities you have, and then obviously get him up to speed, because you can see the tools he has that, you know, could really help us next year.
And he'll help you guys out as a pretty good practice player, I guess, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, he's got to be the best walk-on in the country. I mean, I don't know, it's probably not even close, right? But he gives guys a good look. Again, like going into the like the Houstons and some of the teams that we're going to play, Central Florida with the great length, he definitely helps. And it's an extra body too, to get guys a break during the course of practice, just to keep fresh legs for late in the season. So it helps across the board.
Will he be traveling with you guys? Has that been determined yet, or?
Yes, I believe he can travel with. I don't want to answer it like this on air because I look like a dope.
No, I'll take it out.
Yes, yeah, he does travel with us because of you know, because of the fact that he is technically a walk-on, recruited walk-on. Sure.
Last couple of times, it's only been 2 games, so it's small sample size, but when you've had a good amount of rest between games, with Manhattan and USF, not very good performances. Is that a concern at all this week, or?
No, I don't think. I think that. No, I think that we've played enough games like now. I think we've almost in 20 games together. I think I have a much better feel for who I'm coaching, and they have a much better feel, the players, in terms of, you know, how we prepare. So, you know, listen, I would say that, you know, Central Florida's defense had a lot too. I think we had great intentions that day. I think that their defense and just how demoralized we were coming off of losing on the road to South Florida, who I guess was supposed to be an absolutely dreadful team, who, as it turns out, probably is a little bit better than all of us thought they were at the time. So I just think that we're coming into this game with a much better mindset. But we better be ready tomorrow, because you know, Wichita State's one of the winningest programs in college basketball the last several years, and they're going to come in absolutely foaming at the mouth. And again, their record is not indicative of how they've played this year. They you know, they could very much realistically have 2, 3, 4 more wins right now. But yeah, they're young and talented, well coached and tough. Tomorrow's gonna be a bear of a game for us. But if we get it, then we find ourselves at 3 and 4 with the chance to now thinking about, hey, get the next one. Now we're at 500 in the league, feeling pretty good about ourselves. So tomorrow's critical for our, you know, hopefully we, you know, I don't know what the crowd is expected for tomorrow for us, but it'd be great.
Phil said about 8, I think.
Yeah, well, let's hope that we get a great crowd, maybe get some walk-ups, give us a real advantage, because if we get this one tomorrow, it gives us some hope.
With guys back in class, is it a lot easier now for them to get back into the routine that they were used to before the break?
Yeah, I mean, we're still able to get the extra shooting, which we need, and the extra skill work, which we need. But yeah, I mean, these guys are able to get into a little bit more of a routine. There's just more life on campus. The students here. Hopefully, we get a real good student turnout, and you know.
You were talking about Mamadou. Is a slight possibility this week, tomorrow? Is that?
He could see some time. It's got to, you know, he's getting. He looked more comfortable. You know, he's not all the way back in terms of how you'd love to see a guy moving, but I don't know that, it'd probably get like incrementally better. So, like he's available to go in a game. Now it just comes down to whether I feel like there's a better option for UConn.
I think Kasum's not wearing a boot. Is he progressing?
We're going to know more soon with Kasum. He's going to have to get through. I think he's got a critical test coming up, I believe, next week, which will determine whether there's hope for this year or whether it's hopeless. But he'll be back in the boot. It's when he's walking around short distances, he goes in a sneaker. When he's got to walk a long distance, he flips the boot on, right, Phil?
Right.